calls. Faith is tested. The beast roars. Ancient darkness rises. Everything has led to this. The psychic awakening.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another glorious video. So today we're going to be talking about the Psychic Awakening. With all the hype that has happened over the Space Marine Codex and all the rules we'll be getting, this has really been on the down low, I personally think. No one's really been discussing it that much. So in today's video we're just going to speculate what could it possibly mean, maybe go through a few theories, lose ourselves down the rabbit hole and all that kind of glorious stuff as you expect on this channel. So let's jump in and let's get started. So I think we should start at the number one hard fact which everyone is jumping on with this, and that is it's basically going to be endless spells in Warhammer 40,000. Now, for those of you who don't know what endless spells was, I didn't know what really endless spells was. I know I've heard of them, but I didn't know really how they performed or anything, because it's more of an Age of Sigmar thing. So, speaking to my friend who knows a little bit about Age of Sigmar, what it basically is that you summon spells on the battlefield, and those spells stay on the battlefield until they get dispelled. Now, these spells can do all different type of stuff to your army or the enemy's army. They basically, like I said, stay on the board and they bounce around the board and stuff like that until you in effect can actually dispel them from the stuff. So that is kind of a pretty solid thought for now, because apparently endless spells are very, very popular. Again, I've never used them before, so I can't really comment if they're good or if they're crap or anything like that. But if that did come over to 40k, I wouldn't be upset or anything. Like, the actual models for the endless spells from what I've seen on the GW website look incredible. So maybe if we can get some 40k like styled stuff like that, like model wise, I think that look really, really cool. Balance is probably another thing. I have no idea how it would happen via like balance or anything like that, since does that mean everyone would more or less have to include like a librarian or a psyker in the army? Because let's say, if I don't have a psyker, then someone else has like a psyker and he summons an endless spell, and it's just that endless spell completely knocking off my army all game because I haven't got a psyker to dispel it. So again, I don't really know about the balance and how that would work and stuff like that, but I put that aside for 1 second and let's lose ourselves down the rabbit hole and think maybe it's something else. Now, I hope you're holding on to your chair, because in this trailer it does mention the word beast, and as soon as it mentioned the word beast, my mind was taken to a nice little orc friend of ours, Gazskull Mad Unfracker. Hopefully I've not butchered his name out. Let's just call him Gaz. Big Gazza. So Gaz at the moment is the leader of the Orks when it comes to Warhammer 40,000. He's amassed like a huge crusade of millions of ships, and he's out for some crumping. He's going to be coming, and he's going to be purging. The thing about the Orks is that the Orks are probably the most brutal, the most domineering race in the galaxy at this moment in time by the Tyranids, because the full force of the Tyranids haven't really arrived, let's say. But the problem is with the Orks is that the infighting causes them never to unite. Now, with Gaz, they have that kind of leader now where all the Orks are uniting under one banner. And if he was to launch that banner of all the Orks at like the Imperium, the Eldar, Chaos even, then I don't think we really have a chance. Now, I've always stated that the problem with Gazskull Fracker at the moment is, first, his model is absolutely arse. So if this did happen and if it was related to Gazskull, then I can definitely see him get a new model, which would be amazing. And secondly, his tier of character at the moment is only really like a big war boss. Like, he is an awesome war boss, don't get me wrong, he's nothing to be messed with, but if you put him against like a demonic Primarch, a Primarch, even, like Abaddon, well, Abaddon's kind of that top tier as well, but people like Abaddon and those kind of top tier characters, I don't really see him standing a chance. Whereas if he evolves, let's say, into a Primarch, which which was referred to as the Beast during the Beast Arising many years ago. Let's not talk about that. My Imperial Fist still hurts. This is the kind of top tier character which then could take on Primarchs, the Abaddons, the demonic Primarchs and stuff like that. So if GW do push him into that elevated level, then I can definitely see him being a top tier character and definitely a huge threat to the galaxy itself. Now, staying on the trend of Xenos factions, I would like to change the subject to Tyranids, because this could be a big thing with the Tyranids. The Beast could be referred to as, you know, the beast behind the full Tyranid push onto the galaxy. A psychic, you know, explosion, let's say, could be something to do with them forcing more stuff, or maybe bringing in some kind of new faction or units from the Tyranid faction, which we haven't seen before, because as I stated before, we haven't really seen the main bulk of the Tyranid force. We've just seen the tentacles, let's say. The big army of the Tyranids hasn't hit us yet, and when it does hit us, I think we are in for an awakening. And the awakening, let's say, could be the psychic awakening, which would explode more units, more chaos onto the galaxy itself. Again, with models, it could really, you know, again, bring more models to the Tyranid faction. Even the Tyranids could probably get some updates. I know there's some people out there that are like, oh yeah, Tyranids need updates and stuff like that. So maybe, you know, with the focus of the Space Marines at the moment, what we've been having, and of course the Codex coming out, and we've just had like the next batch of the Primarchs Marines, I'm sure GW's next focus after the Sisters of Battle, because we all know they're coming this year as well, is definitely going to be a Xenos faction. Probably one of the biggest races that need updating when it comes to models is the Eldar race, and again, the Eldar play into psychic stuff very well. Maybe this is a new dawn of an era for the Eldar. Maybe, you know, someone's going to do something and they're going to awaken something else. They're going to, you know, mess with something that they shouldn't be messing with. You know how that happened last time, W Eldar. And something else comes, and, you know, it maybe gives them a new kind of power. Maybe it brings more darkness into the galaxy. Maybe it unleashes something else, and which affects the Eldar. And, you know, maybe that is like a big faction-wide release for the Eldar, them getting new models, and, you know, all that kind of awesome stuff which we expect when big things like this happen. Now, for me personally, I think one of the biggest hints in the trailer, of course, we hear like the beast roars and stuff like that, and, you know, we've talked about Gaz Skull, but the symbol in the trailer is more or less the Astra Telepathica symbol, which is basically the navigator houses, you know, how we move around, and, you know, how basically the Imperium runs is with this psychic connection to the Golden Throne, and which enables us to move around. So I'm thinking, is this something that's going to happen maybe to the Golden Throne, where is it possibly it's got to go out again, which causes more drama? Is it going to be like a backlash? Maybe the Emperor's got to like overcharge himself and put a pulse of energy, like a wave of energy or something, out into the galaxy, which does something. Maybe it connects certain parts of the north, which has all been cut off. Maybe it's the Emperor, you know, signaling, which empowers Psykers more. Maybe it's like a new age of Psykers coming forward, and it's the next evolution to the Imperium or to humanity itself. It even could be related to the Sisters of Battle, maybe, because we know the Sisters are coming, as I just previously mentioned, so maybe like this is something that intertwines with their release. Maybe like Sisters are getting some like Psyker units or something, or, you know, maybe it's, you know, again, the Emperor is communicating with the Sisters, or something psychic that happens with the Sisters, which, you know, pushes them out and, you know, gives us reasons, you know, to introduce them to have more models. As we all know, they're going to get new models. It's kind of up for so many debates and speculations of really what could be bloody happening and how it could really happen in Warhammer 40,000. I personally would love it to be something that involves a campaign, because when we do get campaigns, we get more lore, we get more story, we get more interactions with characters, and it just feels a bit more fun. For me, who is a narrative player, who enjoys a narrative aspect of 40k and involves the narrative aspects of tabletopping and stuff like that. I love it when these campaigns really advance the story and give us new outputs to fight in, and it's just not the same old, oh, it's the 41st millennium, everyone's at war, yada, 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 yada. I like to fight over something and maybe prove a point to win something on the battlefield, rather than it just be like, okay, let's fight each other and we just have a winner over nothing. So hopefully it's something to do with the campaign, and of course if it is a campaign, then it could have any of the factions I've just mentioned. You know, it could even go as far as like Necrons, you know, Dark Eldar, and you know, it's like an introduction for more models for these kind of races, because that's one of the big thing is when you have these campaign books like Vigilus, the folks at GW tend to do a big model release around it for the certain factions that are involved. So maybe, you know, let's say again, let's put your tinfoil hat on. The Imperial Guard are there. Does that mean the Imperial Guard will get some new models? Maybe we'll actually start seeing stuff rather than Cadia models, and you know, maybe like a new Imperial Guard psych unit just going rounds because it's screaming, "I shall split your mind open." You know, all that kind of awesome stuff we expect when psychers are involved. Now, it wouldn't be a video from me without mentioning a certain aspect, and that is, what if maybe, just maybe, this is a hint to a Primarch returning, this psychic awakening, something big. Maybe, I don't know, Magnus trapped Lehman Russ in a psychic area, this psychic awakening blew up, and it's Lehman Russ that comes back. Maybe it's Rogel Dawn that comes back. Maybe it's Vulcan that comes back. Jagatai Khan that comes back. Orks that could come back. It could even be like a traitor Primarch. We know Lorgar and all his psychic senses, how he runs and stuff. Maybe it's something like that. You know, a traitor Primarch coming into the galaxy. Someone like Lorgar who has that kind of power tier level with the Chaos Gods, triggering a new psychic event which puts more upheaval, more pressure onto the Imperium. And of course, if Lorgar comes back, then that's an awesome little showdown with Rabuti and Lorgar, because we know what kind of history they have when it comes to burning certain planets and betrayal. Alright, I'm going to leave it there before I start really going down the rabbit hole and I just can't find my way back out. So thank you for watching this video. Tell me what you think could be the Psychic Awakening. I think a lot of people are saying, like I said at the start, it is going to be endless spells for 40k, but really I would like it to be something a lot more bigger than that, a lot more event changing, a lot more changing to the lore, and really, 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 really shaking things up when it comes to Warhammer 40,000. So again, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I shall see you all very, very soon. Have a great day. See you now, and bye-bye.